Searching for a specific image? Make stock your own with Shutterstock's creative AI. Just choose an image from our library, then edit it. Expand this. Replace that. Let your imagination lead, and we'll take care of the rest. It's easy to craft picture-perfect posts, ads, campaigns, and more. If it's in your head, it's on our site. Go to Shutterstock.com to start your next project.
So I'm the owner of Central Texas Gunworks, which is a gun store in Austin, Texas. We've been here since 2011. I've been teaching classes and doing training for over 20 years. And the reason I started, in the business that I was doing is because I wanted people to learn how to do things the right way, such as my family. I wanted my family to learn how to shoot. I wanted them to know what the laws were. I wanted them to follow the law. And so that's why I focus my business model on training and classes, because we want to make sure that we're doing everything right. And so when this came along, the ATF decided they were going to ban a particular product. That caused a problem for, people that are like my customers and myself who actually had this particular product. And that's the federal government's now saying that it's actually illegal. And so it posed a problem, and we wanted to fix that problem. The clock was ticking. The government said the deadline is coming up. You got to turn them in. And so I was looking for some type of relief, whether it's, getting an attorney, going with an organization, trying to figure out, who could actually help us in making sure I didn't lose, a product that I actually purchased legally in this country. And so luckily I was able to find NCLA. They were looking for a client. I was looking for an attorney, and it was a match made in heaven. And so we were able to file a lawsuit against the federal government. And it's not just about, firearms. It's just about an agency within the government is assigned to, say something that was legally purchased is now illegal. So the bump stock goes on for example, like an AR, it goes on the butt stock of the AR in and around the grip. And so you use the recoil, the reaction from the gun firing to actually, pull the trigger to actually fire. And you actually have to pull the trigger and touch the trigger and engage the trigger in order for it to fire. So a lot of customers that actually purchased them, and more people are actually interested in them as the ban came about.
I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. But anyway, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. I don't know what the hell this Jake was talking about, but I thought it was more in reference to the title, which, he was speaking on some things, but this goes into judge rules illegal immigrants have gun rights protected by the Second Amendment. Also, I have another article as well here going into how hackers, no, not that one, Salakia. Actually, this is the one I was looking at, how these migrants or immigrants, whatever you want to call them, will have the ability to purchase firearms now illegally. But I find it so ironic that, like, if you have like a particular case, or if you have like a felony, like a violent crime, and you're a United States citizen, you can't own a firearm. I find that ironic how they shits on their citizens, how this system shit on their own citizens, man. Okay, I was watching a video of I think she was like an Iskarite woman. She got arrested all because some squatter on her property was basically lying and stated that he lived there and that he was the leaseholder or something of the property. And then all of a sudden they arrested her for telling him to get out her damn house, and she was the one that was paying rent. So this country has totally infringed on your people's rights, your constitutional rights. You can pretty much kiss that goodbye, because that has no value with these people. Okay, because the people that's hijacked your government, they ain't nothing but a bunch of extremists, NAZIs anyway. Okay, they're not upholding your law or your constitutional values or anything like that. And this is why a major civil war is getting ready to break out. Okay, and this is why a lot of cops are quitting the force, because they understand that this is going to put them directly in jeopardy. And then you actually got cops out there that actually upholds the Constitution. You know, you got a lot of cops that's not agreeing with the situation of people coming across the border, you know, the Haitian migrants and the people from Venezuela, the Iranian nationals, the people from Ukraine. You know, people they're not approving of that. But when you go to these Democrat-led cities, you know, this is where the most crime takes place, and you know, and they have the most strictest gun rights. But yet San Jose Bernardino can come up and put a gun in your face and rob you and shoot you in the face and get off, versus you put a gun on him or you defend yourself from him, then all of a sudden you the one that's being held in confinement, man. You know, so this place is totally wicked. It's perverse, and the Lord is getting ready to take this place out, man. Okay, about time. But it says here, and it makes sense in Illinois. Illinois is one of the most corrupted. Illinois is probably one of the most corrupted states in the country outside of California and New York, because you notice the governors of New York and California, the governor of Illinois, they follow the same paradigm. You know, they follow the same goddamn model, because these are Democrat-led states. And this is why you have most of the crime taking place. Like Chicago is a damn war zone because of the leadership. You know, like they say, crime, it pays. It does pay. It pays to keep crime afloat, because you don't have money to fund those private jails, man. So they got to keep Jake on the streets doing crime so they could continue to invest in private stock in prisons. Okay? But it says a federal judge in Illinois has found that the Constitution protects the gun rights of non-citizens who enter the United States illegally. But wait a minute, isn't that a felony? Okay, trespassing on a place that you don't belong. And I hate to say that they're illegal, because technically the Venezuelans, the Mexicans, you know, the people from Puerto Rico, the natives of those particular indigenous lands, they actually have every right to this land. Okay, you Edomites are the one that's here illegally. You occupied America illegally. So I don't like to say illegally, but for their purpose and for what the laws say on this side, technically they are crossing the border illegally, man, and they're just really taking back what's theirs. But then again, we know that these people that is set up to come across the border, they're like sleeper cells. You know, they are paid agitators to do crime, to get people on edge, so when they crack down and declare martial law, they can just be justified on rolling on the people of America, man. And you people, you allowed it because you allowed this to go on. Okay, you didn't contest or you didn't protest the Federal Reserve. You didn't protest for Title 4D. The tax system. You people have let this going on for so many years, to the point now, if you do oppose it, you've given the people so much power to the point that you can't do nothing about it, and they will arrest you and lock you up. So it says U.S. District Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, of course, and she's probably married to Edomite. If that's if she's a jig. But it says Coleman on Friday ruled that a federal prohibition on illegal immigrants owning firearms is unconstitutional, as applied to defendants Heriberto Carbajal Flores. It says the court found that while the federal ban is fecally constitutional, there's no historical tradition of firearm regulation that permits the government to deprive a non-citizen who has never been convicted of a violent crime from exercising his Second Amendment rights. Okay, so this is the loophole. And peep this, right? They said a violent crime. So if you go to jail for drugs, that's not a violent crime. But if you got a felony, you still can't own a firearm. I mean, I'm sure there's ways around it that you can go and get the record expunged or whatever. But it's a violent crime, you know. Now, if you get pulled over and you got like a burglary or murder on your record, then they can arrest you and confiscate the gun and arrest you, you know what I'm saying, and say, well, how do you have this firearm? Which is stupid, you know, because people, you know, they have the right to defend themselves. But I believe if you have like a minor crime, like some type of drug case or some shit like that, they probably want to arrest you. They probably just take the gun. But regardless of it, you got people over here doing crimes. They're beating people up, people getting beat with bike tires, and yet, you know, you're not holding them accountable. But it says here, the non-citizen possession statute violates the Second Amendment as applied to Carbajal Flores, the judge wrote. And it says, thus the court grants Carbajal Flores motions to dismiss. So when it comes to these people, they're upholding the constitutional values. But when it comes to their own citizens, then there you go. And you know what the difference is? Because, see, the people that citizens of the United States, you're entering into these particular agreements and contracts with these devils that made them basically say, look, fuck your rights. Okay, we don't have to deal with your rights because you entered into a contract with these people that do nothing but take your rights. Versus the people coming over here, quote unquote, illegally, they're not into a legal binding with the United States of America. So therefore, their sovereignty actually applies through Constitution, which shows you that you people that believed in the system, that voted, that got a job, fill out 1099s or whatever you want to call it, you in the system, birth certificates, basically you have no rights at this point. You see what I'm saying? And this is how they webbed you up in this wicked system. And it's getting ready to fall, you know. But it says Coleman, President Barack Obama appointed, cited landmark Supreme Court decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Brunin, which established a new standard to determine whether a law violates the Second Amendment. It says since Braun, a multitude of federal and state gun control measures have been challenged in courts with mixed result. But it says in this case, U.S. versus, Carvajal Flores, the court considered whether people who enter the country illegally can be banned for owning firearms. In his case, it's going to open up the way for migrants or immigrants to get guns now, because they could say, well, look, we've never been convicted of a crime, or we don't have any particular record tracing us to these things. So all these illegals now that's running around beating people over the head with sticks, they're going to be carrying firearms very soon. And they're going to be carrying firearms in places like New York, Chicago, LA, places that the gun laws are very tight and restricted, because citizens there can't own guns. I believe in Chicago, you got to have what they call a FOID card. You can own a gun, but you have to have you got to go through so many steps to get it. You got to have a FOID card. You got to have 20 hours of basic training or some shit like that, or like 60, and you got to go through the proper protocols. Versus these people, they can just buy a gun off the street and pull it on you and pop you and get off. But yet, if you pop one of them, they got to investigate you. You got to go through the system. It's just a bunch of bullshit. It's just too much. So basically, they're taking away you people's rights to defend yourselves against the coming tyranny, because we know that a civil war is brewing up. Okay? But it says here, Flores is an illegal immigrant who on June 1st, 2020, was found to be in possession of a handgun in Little Village neighborhood of Chicago. It says he was subsequently charged with violating a federal law that prohibits any non-citizen who is not legally authorized to be in the U.S. from possessing or affecting commerce any firearm or ammunition, or to receive any firearm or ammunition which has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce. It says in April 22 decision, Coleman denied Carabao Flores' first motion to dismiss his indictment, finding that ban was constitutional. But however, Flores asked the court to reconsider that ruling following the Supreme Court's decision in Burrin and appellate decisions in the Third and Seventh Circuit that considered whether people convicted of nonviolent crimes could be prohibited from possessing a firearm. Okay, which means if you have like a drug case, like I mentioned earlier, then technically you can still own a gun, because the gun laws were just too strict. But it says, upon review, Coleman concluded that Flores' illegally present status was not sufficient to deny him Second Amendment rights. But wait a minute, man. How, if you're not a citizen of this corporation, how the hell can you even have any rights at all? But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're sovereign, then you have rights. But the people in America, you're not sovereign because you're in bounding agreement by a social security number, state ID, driver's license. You have a tax ID number. So if you on the grid, basically you have no rights. Okay, don't let them fool you. You have no rights. But it says the judge said that the plain text of the Constitution presumptively protects firearms possessions by undocumented persons, which before you didn't have to have any type of paperwork. But see, that's how they get around it, because now they make you have paperwork, which inches you into a binding with them. But technically, you should be able to own a gun without anybody knowing, because it's just your personal possession. It's your protection. You see what I'm saying? And this is how they get over on people. This is how they're able to protect themselves and to disarm you. But nonetheless, this is nothing but a tactic to start what you call civil unrest in America, man. Because now a lot of these people are going to be having firearms, and they're going to use them on you fucking Americans, man. With you Americans, you're stupid anyway. And honestly speaking, this is the Lord really getting ready to put the sword to you Babylonians because of what you've done to his chosen people. So, hey, man, brothers, it's getting ready to go down. But it reads, this is Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verses 12. It says, and because iniquity should abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, when you look up the word iniquity, right? Iniquity goes into anomia, which means condition without law, lawlessness. It was this one chick, and I may do a lesson on it later. He was basically calling for a 24-hour purge, you know, because he said he's ready to wipe people out, and he's ready to go himself. And Jake was calling for a purge, man. Okay, so people are in that mindset. And when you have people crossing the border illegally with weapons, and the United States government is giving these people weapons, like the whole Haitian revolution with this guy Barbecue, they found out that his troops were basically using U.S. issued AK-47s, man. You know? So it says, because of ignorant in it, because of violating it, contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness. Okay, and these migrants, man, they getting violent. And honestly speaking, they're told to do that because they know when the hell these people are just coming over here starting shit with people. They got orders to do that, you know? And they've been coming over here for the last 15, 20 years. Don't get it twisted. This whole Title 4D expiration back in May of last year. Man, look, they've been letting people cross this border, quote unquote, illegally for decades, man. So, hey, half the people you see over here, I remember, shit, just working around people, you know, like in my early 20s, you know, Mexicans, and, you know, they weren't even supposed to be here legally, man. I mean, legally. They was here legally, you know, didn't have papers, getting jobs under the table. Hell, I remember when I was working 2 years ago, I was driving a plow truck, and a guy slammed right into me. I think he had like a Challenger, man. Motherfucker was like a midnight blue, beautiful car. He bam ran right into the wheel bed of the truck, fucked his whole front end up. And you know, we got out to exchange information. He said, "Man, look, I'm illegally here." He said, "I ain't supposed to be here." I'm like, "What about your car though?" He like, "Man, don't even worry about it. I ain't even supposed to be here anyway. I can't even get a license." And he left that motherfucker where it's at, and he drove and he walked off in the snow. I'm like, "Well, shit, you ain't say nothing, I can't do nothing about it." You know, but nonetheless, this is the times that we're in, man. Okay, that's why it reads here, it says, and because iniquity should abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, man. So this is going to be a thing of endurance, okay, making it to the end, okay, because now what I'm seeing is that Yahweh Shai doing this Passover, and after the Passover, the Lord is getting ready to start sifting a lot of men out of this thing, man. Okay, a lot of the men that call themselves Israelites, a lot of you getting ready to go back into the world. A lot of you getting ready to leave the faith. A lot of you getting ready to be tested under pressure. A lot of you, the Lord just going to flat out destroy because you're not right. Okay, promoting guns and, you know, promoting wickedness in your Passovers and selling your merchandise. The Lord's getting ready to excommunicate all you guys, man. And you ain't going to be found to be faithful before your house shy. And it says, and this gospel of the kingdom should be preached in all the world for a witness unto nations, and then the end shall come. And hey, we at the end, because this gospel has went throughout all the earth via the internet, man, according to Psalms, the 19th chapter. Okay. Another precept. This is Ezekiel 7, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, behold the day, behold, it is come, and the morning is going forth, and the rod has blossomed, pride has budded. And really, this is judgment on you Americans because your pride. You know, all the time I look over here like, damn, you know, these people getting ready to get jacked up. You know, it kind of pisses you off that how squatters have rights over people, you know what I'm saying, and how they can take over people's properties. But then when I think about it, I'm like, these are the same people that did this to us. Okay, they brought us to this side of the road illegally. Okay, they've took away our rights. They've beat us. They've robbed us. So now the Lord is recompensing the judgment on them. So in many ways, it's like, okay, so be it. You people of America, you getting what you deserve because you got this blood or this land through rape, robbery, and murder, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. I think that's Exodus 34. Exodus 30. No, Numbers 30. Yep, Numbers 35 and 33. I don't know why I said Exodus. I'm tripping. But anyway, this is the book of Numbers 35. And 31, it says, moreover, ye should take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he should surely be put to death, man. And you Edomites are a bunch of murderers, man. Okay, you stole this land, and really the people that's getting jacked up are you Edomites. So honestly, I don't feel bad when one of them fucking people come in and crack you upside your head with a wooden pole, man. Okay, you stole this land anyway. And that just the Lord repaying you. It just the bad thing. We gonna be in the midst of it, but we gonna be shielded from this shit, man. Because I believe we've come across several of them people and they turn a blind eye to us because the Lord really has a spirit on these people to see shit, man. They know who to go after up through the spirit, you know, and the spirit telling them, nah, those are my servants, don't touch them. Like, we had a lot of them ride past the camp and they'll look at us and they'll keep it pushing. Because they already know, like, man, these ain't the men we got beef with. They just out telling the truth. But you people that's not protected by the Lord, you through, man. Okay, you Edomites, you CEOs, you business owners, man. You small-time business owner, you land grabbers, all you fucking people are through. You 2/3, you Jakes that prosper and want to live in this, hey, you through. You know? And it says here, so ye should not pollute the land wherein ye are. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, man. Okay, and that's you Edomites. You shed a lot of blood. So now them Haitians coming in, you notice that people that's coming over here, they shedding light on the Israelites. Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, you know, all the tribes, they're shedding light on it, turning a blind eye to these Iranian nationals, these Chinese nationals, these people from Yugoslavia, these people from fucking Yemen. Now, allegedly, those people from Yemen and Gaza is coming over here now because basically they got displaced out of the land. So allegedly, Biden is flying their ass over here by the boatloads, man. But they not really saying nothing about that. You know, they not telling you anything about these Ukrainians coming over here training at particular Air Force bases, but yet they'll shed light on what's his Carousel or Gonzalez or Luis. You know, they'll put a mugshot up of a nigga looking like a cartel that just broke out of a max level prison, dug a damn tunnel underground using a plastic spoon, and he swam to the United States. Now he's the biggest terror threat, but yeah, you got actually Russians and nationals in his country that's actually working hand in hand with the federal government to do attacks on your land. But they not saying nothing about that, man. That's why these people are getting ready to give up in arms. It's going to be an insurrection here real soon. Okay, people are getting ready to go batshit crazy, kicking in doors, shooting people on sight. It's going to get real dark out here real soon. All right, but it says, violence is risen upon the rod of wickedness. None of them should remain, nor of the multitude, nor of any of theirs, neither should there be any dwelling for them. Okay, because ain't gonna be no crying for you people. You people get put to death in the streets. Hey, we ain't gonna cry for you, man. Okay, we don't give a damn. Okay, we're just the prophets, we're the messengers, and we telling your ass what's gonna happen before it happen. Repent or be destroyed. And that's our message. If you don't like it, oh well, go down the street, man. All right, it says the time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. So you business owners, man, you people that's into like merchandise and commerce, you can forget about it. It says, for the seller should not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive, because there's going to be an economic collapse. We're in a collapse now, you know, for the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which should not return, neither should any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. But they that have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none go into the battle. It says, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. Okay, so this whole goddamn system is getting ready to fall, man. Okay, the Lord's wrath is against this place and you people in it. And it says, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. And he that is in the field should die with the sword. And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence should devour him. Okay, because matter of fact, I'm gonna go down a little bit. Verse 21, because this whole chapter is really good, but that's, you know, that's more going into like the collapse, but this is to the violence. It says, and I will give it into the hands of strangers for a prey, and the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. And my face will I also turn from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robber shall enter it and defile it. Now this is going to when Israel was taken down. You had the Babylonians that took us down. Okay, we fell to the Persians and the Medes. We fell to we fell to the Babylonians. Okay, the Persians had us at a point in time. The Syrians, you know, we've literally been passed around by all nations, man. And now this devil, okay, and the strangers goes into these heathens. But it says, my face I will also turn from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robber shall enter to and defile it. And it says, and make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence, man. Okay, and this city is getting ready to be violent. Talking about America. It says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, which is you Edomites, really. But flip side, now these people are pouring into your country, and shall possess their houses, And I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places should be defiled. Okay? Destruction cometh, and they should seek peace, and there should be none. But mischief should come upon mischief, mischief upon mischief, and rumor upon rumor, and they should seek a vision of the prophet, but the law should perish from the priests and the counsel from the ancients, man. Okay? And that's not talking about us not having the truth anymore, but that's mainly talking about us not going out to speak to you, because the scripture said in Ezekiel that we should not be as a reprover unto them anymore, man. Okay? So anyway, man, I'm going to end it there. We could go into several scriptures, 2nd Esdras 15, 16, go into Esdras 14. Man, we can go into 2nd Esdras 6. We can go into plethora of